Hi there. This is the bedroom at the top of our stairs, the first one of 3 that I would like to share with you. I have mixed some very retro metal shelving with some very traditional things like plates, hand-painted vintage plates, and some lady head vases, and some poodle things, and milk glass, a couple of little milk glass bedroom lights. But I think it works very well to mix the two. So I will be showing you some things up close. I hope you will enjoy it. It's pretty striking in turquoise, black and white with a little bit of pink here and there. I really was happy to find a couple different milk glass lamps that are a nice small size. The lamp shades were actually found separately, but they went really well. They have this little lacy overlay material on it that's very thin, but it has the big circle holes in it, so that went well with the milk glass. The lamp was only $2.49. I mentioned in my kitchen video that I collect a lot of old Kleenex box containers, and this one is a really fancy one in white with a carved pattern. The lid just lifts off, the clear lid. They're very cheap, many years ago. I found this Jergens lotion bottle that's milk glass a couple years ago in an antique shop, and it was really reasonable. I think it might have been like $6, but I thought this is a fun thing to add to my milk glass collection, and it looks very nice in here. This dresser scarf is also a thrifted item that I probably found 25 years ago. It's just perfect for this nightstand. I actually took the knobs off that were the same color wood and replaced it with black ones. This little lady over here is really fancy. It's a planter, so she has a box in back of her, and she had a chip on her in a couple of places, but her hands were fine. She was only $5 because of those chips, but I painted them, the chip holes, and I probably filled them in a little bit too with some glue before I painted them. But she's just got the prettiest dress on. I thought she was very special, and I love pink, and I love this milk glass that I found in thrift stores in separate pieces. Finally, it took years to find all 3 of them. I got a lot of pearl necklaces from my mother when she passed away. She did a lot of jewelry making and inspired me, so I actually started making a lot of jewelry too. So that is this nightstand. Above it is a picture of me when I was very young, in my 30s. I am not young anymore, but my hubby wanted this picture blown up. He found the slide a couple of months ago and thought it would be really fun to have that blown up. We were celebrating our church's 100th anniversary, downtown Minneapolis, First Baptist. So everybody was dressing up in period dress. So that's what I came up with. It was a very fun day, and it was on the news. Here are 2 lady head vases that could be from the 50s or 60s. They actually were made all the way up to the 70s. They came from floral shops with flowers in them. I don't recall my mother ever getting one, but she did collect a few of them. The one on the left is by Napco. The one on the right is not marked, so I really don't know who made her. I like this little retro metal shelf. It's in a flower shape, which is really cute for those two, and they actually fit on there fine. They have a narrower dress bodice base on them compared to this one up here. This one up here is much wider, and this is a narrower shelf. So I can only fit one on this shelf, and that does actually look nice to have it odd like that, where you don't have two on each one. But I really enjoy the little metal shelves. Up above it is a really cute wire flower looking plate holder. I have several of those, and they're fun to show these neat hand painted vintage plates, usually made in Japan. I like the bird ones, but I don't find them in my colors real often. The little ones I have two of, so I have one on each side that match, which is great that I found those. I don't see the little ones very often, but I do see the bigger ones, and they usually have a fruit plate in them. So that's this wall side of the shadow box. I was very happy that I could have a smaller shadow box in here for something I started collecting before the lady head vases. I was into poodles because they are also very much a 50s, 60s popular item. So I did find 3 little planters on the bottom there that are poodles with their carts. And then there's 2 little bird figurines up there that are probably Japan, and I really like that fancy poodle vase in the middle in pink. I'm not sure who made that. There's a couple of black poodles on the top. That is red clay, and that is also a very common type material that's used for figurines back in the 60s probably. I'm not sure if it's even earlier than that. On the other side of the shadow box are these 3 lady head vases, only this one is actually a little girl, and it was my mother's. This is what inspired me to collect some more lady head vases. She's very cute. It just says Japan on the bottom. And there's the other little tiny plate, and then the rose one. Hand painted, very pretty. I really like that. This is a vintage 60s beaded plant hanger. I've had it for a very long time, and I've put a red wing, I think it's called speckled planter in it. Red Wing Potteries here from Minnesota. The old Red Wing Pottery building has 3 floors of antiques in it that we've enjoyed for years. But I just put a artificial white orchid in there that works just fine. It's in a dark corner over here, so I don't want to really be watering a plant over here anyways, right above a lamp. This is the other little milk glass lamp that is totally different than the one on the other side. I thought that was a neat one. I enjoy putting my jewelry in these fancy ruffled hobnail milk glass dishes. I keep a lot of the bracelets in here and there. There is a pretty dove covered dish that I found a few years ago. I keep some jewelry things in there too. Found one little lonely candle holder, hobnail, at a thrift store back there. Here's what the lampshade looks like again. When it's not lit up, it is definitely white. And this is the only double diamond shelf I've ever found. And these two vintage, probably California, birds are very cute. And I do have the other one that goes with it that is much taller. There are so many beautiful plates at thrift stores, and I've decided to display a few of them. I think they're nice, hand painted. So that is this corner. You will notice in my next two videos of bedrooms that I have a lot more beads that I've collected from the past 25-30 years. I look for them in antique shops and thrift stores, and there's been some antique shops in our area that they had vendors who really had a lot of beads, vintage beads, and they were like $2 each unless they were very fancy. And so I used to have so much fun picking them out and sometimes remaking things with them because they weren't always in perfect condition. But they are just so much fun to find and so cheap. These are probably more 80s. The chunky ones, especially like this one right here, was the latest one I found. It's white beads, but it's mixed with some cream and black larger beads that are very fun. And that one was quite reasonable too. I think it was in a thrift store actually. But in my other two bedrooms, I have more 50s and 60s very fancy flowery necklaces. And those elaborate ones were popular in the 50s, like I say, in the 60s, when they were from Germany, West Germany actually, and Japan and Hong Kong. I have used many of these plastic peg stretchy racks in different colors in the bedrooms where I can hang all these beads up and see them and enjoy them every day and have it instead of having them all put away. It's very fun to find those once in a while in a thrift store. I actually have two armoires. There's a bigger one in another bedroom, and this one is really skinny, so it fits so nicely in this small bedroom. Our bedrooms are small. This is not a big house. But the other one, I actually painted it pink, and that was in here for a long time. The black one was in my other pink bedroom, and then I got the idea to switch them. They do fit way better. So I wanted to mention that I do not spend a lot of money on curtains. I got them at Walmart, probably, just some shears and just a couple of cute panels. I'm very frugal when it comes to curtains and things like that. I usually end up getting thrifted ones, but I found these so reasonable at Walmart, so they're good enough. I wanted to mention the purses. I have, over the years, many years, found some fun purses in antique stores. You don't typically find something like that in a thrift store, but this is an old vinyl purse, probably from the 60s. It has gold threads in it. I stuffed it full of turquoise necklaces for now. And that is considered lucite, the handle. It's just clear, but that's what they would call it. And I just found this one for $3. Cute little beaded purse. It has a totally different design on the other side of tiny beads and a floral pattern. but I thought $3. I'll take that. And up above here, two more of the little retro metal diamond shelves. They were probably 25 cents a piece about 20 years ago up north where we used to go for a lake home that we no longer have now, but they had garage sales all the time on the weekends way out in the woods, and I found 4 of these for 25 cents each, and I've never wanted to let them go. This beautiful lady, I did not tip her over to see where she's made, but she's so sweet. She is not white, but that would look funny anyways. She's an off-white, and this is supposed to be Audrey Hepburn, Breakfast at Tiffany's. And I also got her really reasonable. I do not spend a lot of money on these ladyhead vases. They can be a lot, typically 65 on up, way up, but she was pretty reasonable, and I'm happy to have her. This is just a plaque I found in a thrift store. It was all kind of a tarnished gold look, and I decided to paint the sides black. I like it way better. I think it is vintage, probably what they call Sirocco. So that's this little wall. These, I believe, are rare. I found them in a thrift store antique shop combination. I thought they were very much the type of thing that you would see in the mid-century decor. There were a lot of Japanese type figurines that you'd find in shadow boxes, little ones, and then bigger figurines like this. They are porcelain. They are marked on the bottom. They are stamped George Z. Lefton, and they are actually dated 1956. I thought they were very beautiful and said to my husband that I would really enjoy having these in this turquoise black and white bedroom. I saw the price tag of $30 and I thought that was a steal, but when he got up to pay for it, he knew it was actually $30 each. So I was very surprised and a little disappointed that I was spending $60. I thought I was getting a real find, but they actually are around $200 on the internet if you do find a similar pair. I have not seen this pair recently, so I still like them, and I guess it's an investment then. But I was a little embarrassed after I got in the car and realized that they were actually $60. But like I say, for something that's perfect condition like these are, and from 1956, that's still a pretty good deal. Here is the back of these figurines. They are simply gorgeous. Lots and lots of hand painting. Lots of gold. Very, very, very pretty. This is the male. And just want to mention too that the cool vase in the background is a California original. I found that quite a few years ago and still think it's really neat. Here's the back of the geisha girl's dress. There is a spaghetti effect, I believe they call that. It's not quite like poodles, but it is very textured. So she really has some elaborate painting on the back of her too. Perfect condition. I didn't mention that their hands and faces are bisque. That is a dull finish. And they are Really, really neat to have. I'm enjoying them very much. I have to dust them very carefully. Their fingers are very delicate, and that's what you tend to find broken when someone is selling it still for an expensive price. I was really thrilled to find this vintage plastic, what they call Sirocco, mirror in an antique store for $14.99. That was quite a find. My hubby right away was wondering, where are you going to put that? I told him I knew right where I was going to be putting it. We used to have a modern round mirror in here. It was a cool mirror, but this one is so much more fun. He likes it now. By the mirror here is a picture of Rita Hayworth. You've probably been wondering who that was. No, it's not me. It's a beautiful actress from the 50s with beautiful reddish hair. My hubby Norm really has enjoyed watching her movies. We have a nice collection of them. So that was just a little something we added to this room. We actually used to have more of her pictures in here too, but I ended up changing things with the head vases. So I hope you've enjoyed looking at this bedroom.